Oh, okay. It's like, I asked her if she's doing some,
What is it?
Does that mean that you don't upload it any of the classes, the recordings online yet?
Oh,
Yeah, it's okay. I have no idea.
I was just looking for it the other night because I was curious and
I will give you the link. I think you may have the link to log out by yourself.
it's nothing I needed. I was just curious if it was part of the Canvas or if it was somewhere else.
Want to log in and see? Want to log in and see?
Sure.
Let me find out the link. On the announcement.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, I only started reading them last week, but I still believe it.
There's really not that much for it.
I just started reading.
It helps.
Yeah.
It's all the info.
But she
I
actually
get
did
it.
a document ready yesterday.
I can't stress that if I really.
You wrote this email. She made it up in her because it's like all but it went all the way to this book because like the original characters, they really brought them into it. Like just rational concept things like this. That's awesome. Also, so because I guess like 1980, and it starts at like 19, and then she travels back to something. So she's bringing back to where her daughter as the mother back to her and says that. But now we're actually at 17 versions. It's really cool. It's really cool. It's very Outlander. Yeah, it's a little creepy kind of it's like I would Google it just to see what love story. I was almost interested.
After this, yeah, over trust me, yeah.
Then there's a comment. So there's five characters.
Like I know it's hard, but they.
And then one of them that goes most like
Well, after that,
that's
I mean,
is holding up.
12 to 10. It was 1 to 10.
And the case for the phone is guitar. So that's, it's almost, it was done on purpose.
Right.
But it's like,
It's
it's
not funny how
10 going to Olivia knows.
I couldn't tell if it was far away from somebody compared to like far away.
Yeah.
People like completely,
And
people like
then,
here.
so it was 4.
Oh, we can do
And I'm thinking it's Donna because it was 10.
6. Yeah.
But with the way they have her drawn, it could be.
Wait.
No, Rose, not Rose, River. It's like 10 to 1.
Try to work around.
Yeah. For a second, I was like, want to make me. It's always
I'm not trying to keep track of which containers are specific stuff.
Oh, yeah.
generally start the class. 1 minute, please. So again, rest yourself, relax yourself, physically, mentally. Hit the bell to start for 1 minute. Please the bell to start. To relax everything, put down everything. Keep your mind fresh. Listen out the breath. The discount a little bit.
Yeah, I think so, because it was a lot higher. I said it was a lot higher than usual, so I feel like either I miscounted or it doesn't bother me, but it's just.
And then try to bring it back to, you see 2 minutes, okay? Try to relax yourself 2 minutes. This time, that's good. So you can straight. So take your minute by minute at all. Did you do at all? 3 minutes? Great. So again, that's required practice. Otherwise, you will not feel that. We go back here before we move on. We need to. when we almost discussed about the difficulties in meditation, it's a lot. It's always discomfort, physical discomfort while sitting. Again, if you sit on the chair, for a few minutes it won't be discomfort, right? But if you sit longer than like 40 minutes or 1 hour, sometimes you feel at least. But it's the same time. It's a lack of concentration. It's happened to everyone, especially during the day. You will have a lot of things going on in your mind. Sleepiness. Sometimes when you do meditation in the morning, you feel sleep. That's okay. This encouragement again, if you understand the benefit of doing meditation, you can do more. Impatience. I expect better result. Remember expectation. We block your mind. So it's better doing without the expectation. Daily stresses, all kinds of stresses. It's not easy for us to handle, so that is why it's made affect us. Physical and emotional tensions. After you just run around, running tracking, so you may be tired. Sometimes at home you may have some problem with your family members, or at work, or at school. So when you sit down there, your anger, your emotion is still there, still boiling. So it's not easy to cool down. Tension while focusing. Sometimes you may have that problems, so it's better not to focus on somewhere on your forehead and so forth, so you can relax yourself. Lack of encouragement is a discouragement too. So as much as you understand the benefit of this, 10 or 5 times, whenever we want, whichever thing we want, we will 5 times, right? Feeling you are not good near the meditator, this is we just beginners. Spiritual overconfidence. Sometimes you have overconfidence. You can sit, but somehow when you sit there, you're going to concentrate well. Protection from negative influences. That's mean Westmith.
You don't listen. You're not accepting the negative.
Yeah, when you're afraid of your own demon. In a sense, when you thought some negative thought pop up, you want to block it out. The more you block it out, the more it pop up. So don't need to block it. Feeling that you are making little no progress, is step by step. You feel that. Okay, so that I just want to review these problems difficulties that we endure, that we encounter every day. Now, today we talk more about this kind of what we call the mindfulness-based therapies programs. Is involved. This involves mindfulness-based stress reduction. You read that, right? You did this. And after I explain briefly about this, and we can go back to your assignment. And mindfulness-based stress reduction is based on the traditional Buddhist practice of Zen and Theravada practice. And mindfulness-based cognitive therapy is make the combination between the meditations and cognitive therapies, like the CBT. That we talk next class. It's deal with the first one help us to deal with the stress. The second one help us to deal with the depression. Acceptance and commitment therapies. Is train the mind how to deal with the negative thought. Accept the way they are. Secondly, there's a psychological interventions that use acceptance and mindfulness based to deal with negative thoughts. And the last one is DTB. It's been dialectical behavioral therapies that make a connection between mindfulness-based and the CTB, cognitive behavioral therapies. It's deal with depression and so forth and other programs. Especially in this article, the mindfulness-based stress reduction is the practice that is overly rooted in the Buddhist traditions. That's not a Buddhist tradition. And this one here, mindfulness-based cognitive therapies deal with the major depression. That's what we're talking about today. No, it's next class. DTB was originally developed as integration for patients with materials for borderline personality disorder. And the last one is CTB, ACD, rely on the rational frame theories, which derive from a physical field functioning capacity. So this is, again, it uses the mindfulness-based practice as other therapies. Okay, anyway, let's just move on to the class. Now, hope you've done your reading response, right? Now, in this class, I like to do this. Let's see here. How to see here. Yeah, how to see here. That's good. Okay, now, let us team together. Can you stand up and team together? Team pair together. Can stand up and pair together. Yeah. Pick your partner. Pick your partner. Move, Jazz, you can move.
There is.
Yeah. Yeah, anyway, pick your partner.
Can we be 3?
No, 2. We have 10. We have 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Now, so you hope you done your real response, right? So you know what's in mindfulness-based reduction, right? Now, one of you will be a patient. One of you will be psychologist. Okay. So whichever one you deal with each other. Okay. One is patient. Let's say if you tell your psychologist, right, all kinds of stress, school stress, work stress, relationship stress, and so forth. Talk to them. Talk to your psychologist. How they help you to deal with your stress. And listen. At first, you express yourself. Explain for them what type of stress you are dealing now. Right? That's for you. Whoever you want to pick up. Okay? And the next one is, that your partner needs to be psychologist. Right? You need to tell that person, tell your friends, how to use the mindfulness stress-based reduction to deal with your stress, to deal with your partner's stress. Does that make sense? Very clear? Okay, we have about, let's say, 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Okay, go ahead. You take care of yourself. You decide and take care of yourself.
Can we sit down?
Yeah, please. We're going to sit down. We're going to sit down, talk to them, talk to each other. You can write down, please. If you're a psychologist, you can write down on the approach. Okay, you can help your partner, your clients.
I know.
Yeah, there's a lot of it.
And then a lot of I've actually done there's like people are too
this semester as far as full load classes and involved in the accounting club and honors program, just trying to balance all that out so that I can be a little bit sometimes. So that's basically
That's my definition of MBS.
your mind working and there's some
One thing at a time. Just sit there. It's so hard for me to eat. I have to do other things. Never thought about thinking about eating.
I'm not making always hard on myself. I said that and then as far as the relationship, I would get in. I don't
Who is patient? Okay. And when you done? Who is patient? Okay. Who is patient? Okay. You done? Who is patient? Done? Oh, okay, go ahead. You want to do it? One more.
Just accepting
It's easier. I was saying I was gonna like write a paper today, but then instead last night, right now.
Okay. That's okay. That's okay now. Okay, good. Okay, let us hear the report from the patient. Okay, who is patient? Can you tell the class what your problems? I mean, no, and explain your express your problems and tell the class how much your psychologist helped you to deal with that kind of problems. Okay, go ahead, please.
I just said that I was stressed out about school and had a lot of stuff to do. We mainly talked about what.
No, not we.
Oh.
No. Yeah, you mentioned about your problem.
Oh, my problem.
Yeah, and share with the class how much your psychologist helped you to deal with that kind of problems.
Okay. Yeah.
So you have school stress, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So how much does she help you to deal with that?
Well, she gave me like techniques to use. Like,
for example,
I think that's hatha yoga, and then we just talked about different kinds of yoga and meditation, and that's about as far as we got. So.
No specific one.
No, not really. I mean, I didn't try practicing it in class or anything, but.
That's okay. So you listen. Patient, who is patient here? Okay, what's the problem and what's her approach to give you treatment?
The problem I have is just about relationship, and when I share with her about it, so actually like we both have like struggling relationships, so like kind of the same, and we both think about
No. You're patient.
Oh yeah.
You're patient.
So,
She's psychologist. How much does she help you to solve the car problems?
Like she told me like it's kind of look like meditation. Take a deep breath, like try to stay away your problem and try to focus on what you like to do. Look like do something like play with your dog or go out shopping or like do yoga, something kind of exercise. And then when your mind like refresh and cool down, so you can see more things like more clear, more wise.
Who is patient here? What is the problem?
Work and school.
Okay, and how could he help you out?
He told me to make sure I take time for myself to put like everything away, like no email, like phone, things like that, and take time to like just relax and meditate and yoga with him.
Okay, who's patient here? Yeah, so what's the problem?
I mean, similar to everyone else, it's just worried about school and doing well in school and getting everything done on time. In addition to that, I'm just going to say in addition to that, I just have lots of other pressures from like trying to get an internship and trying to juggle all my like extracurricular activities and stuff like that.
What's her advice?
And her advice was basically just to not really live in the future and not like just constantly be thinking about all the things that I need to do. Instead, do the things that I can do now, and then don't worry about the future when it comes to the here and now that you get to that point. So basically, do the best you can and do all the things you can do right now. Don't worry about it.
Your patient? Was,
Work stress and family stress.
it was her advice.
Her advice was to not be so concerned with my expectations of success, to focus more on the present and to just do my best and not worry about the outcome. And to accept things from the past as just being in the past.
How do you rate the psychologist?
She did.
From 0 to 10.
8. I'll give her 8.
Oh, that's good. Anyway, how about this? If your patient just sit back, okay, they sit back, and the rest they stand up and switch their partner. I mean, they pick up different one.
Oh.
Yeah. They stand up. If the patient say stay back, okay, okay, and then you pick up different one. Yeah, pick up different one. You pick up different one. Yeah. Go around here. Okay, yeah. Yeah, they move around. Switch around. Yeah, good. Okay, now again. So the patient now become a psychologist, okay? Make sense? Okay, the patient becomes a psychologist and listen to them, their problems, and give them their advice. Please go.
So these all things that are Is there anything that went out
basically
today?
babysit I wouldn't say everything has to be budgeting.
Well, about their way, go out of their way.
Once a week and sometimes
They do pretty much. I'm going to school too.
Technically, I think it's 29, but they also
Not worrying about it. So, have you done what you can do now for graduation? Just like why?
It's 5%, and then like the next day, the next day we read the letter, and then here's the family, and then it makes it like you're able to see what the thinking is, and it's like, oh, okay, maybe that wasn't the nicest thing, you know what I mean? Realize that it's my fault.
Today I did.
So that way, as you're reading and writing it, you're able to express that way.
We got to do this. Oh,
They said 1 more minute to wrap up. Okay, 1 more minute to wrap up.
I read advice from someone who said like, if you feel like you don't have enough time, then you need to obviously prioritize. So like sometimes you watch the TV, they like, wow, my issues are more for you. So I try that. I know what to do. Every time I go turn the TV on, I realize that it's going to be watch TV. So do you feel
Oh, you get stressed. Not to do
Done?
Try not to do and be used to maybe worried about this, we just maybe that's not being
Okay, good. You done? Okay, so who's patient? Okay, yeah, please, what the problems and what's his advice to you?
I just said I have problems with letting go of things. I'm all right with accepting them, but not really letting go and like forgiving people and letting go of negative emotions. So he said that I should think about things that I like to do. I told him that I like to write. So he said a good way to express it is to write about it. And so like when I work on my novel, I can like write about it in there, and that'll help let it out. And then make sure that when I'm meditating and everything, that I'm doing it long enough and deep enough that I'm letting myself still feel those emotions, but not like sit and cease and think about that person or whatever bothering me.
Patient? Yeah, what's the problem? So what's her advice?
Problems pretty much just work and school, just normal stuff, like finding time to do something that's not work in school. And advice was just to make a to-do list, but leave time in there, empty spaces for me to just do whatever it is that relaxes me. And maybe take less classes one semester to wind down.
Yes, what's her advice? What's your problem?
Mainly graduating and graduate school, finding solutions for this. And the most awesome question she asked was, although she mentioned that those are future issues, and then she asked, what are your worries right now? And I was like, oh, I don't really have any that I can think of at the exact moment. So it was all about using meditation to live moment by moment and being aware in the future.
Yes.
I talked about my relationship issues. The person I'm with right now has like commitment issues, and we're both in that transition. Like we're about to graduate, and everything's going to change, and so we're taking the pressure off by not being in a relationship, but we're still hanging out, and we're still like we're not that we're not together because we don't want to be. It's really complicated. So I told him that most of the time I accept it, and I'm happy because I like where I am and what I'm doing, and we still kind of are together. But other times I get really frustrated because he has commitment issues. So he said to accept it and not worry about the future, because that's when I get frustrated. That's what I'm thinking about, is whether or not like he's an option for my future. Just not worry about it. Continue doing what I'm doing. But, just remember to accept it.
You just give you any advice how to deal with that person?
How to deal with that person.
I
I think he said he deals with similar things. It's hard.
No, nothing.
Okay. How are you?
My issue is we're leaving for vacation a week from tomorrow, and the week that we're gone, I have a psychology test. And he's, even though the first day I went to him and said, I'm going to be on vacation this day, is there any way I can take the test early or whatever? And in his syllabus, he's not very forgiving when it comes to missing an exam. And I'm kind of worried that he's not going to let me take it early, or that I'm going to have to write this 20-some-odd page paper to make up for it. And that's just going to add more stress to the end of the semester. And so, but her advice was to accept that I'm doing what I can to help myself, and that I can't control what he decides, and that 20 pages sounds huge, but when you start writing about it, or start writing it, you go through it really fast. So.
That's great. Thank you. So how you feel when you change the role? How you feel? Thank you. You can get back to your seat. Thank you. Okay. So we have 3 more classes. We will do the same thing. Will be different way. So let us hear one by one about your writing. Let me put this one. Let's see. Mindfulness number 1. Yeah, what's the number 1 about?
It really just asks what MBSR is and what some of the factors are involved with it, which we've been talking about. But as we know, mindfulness-based stress reduction, we know that. And it was, I think it originated as a way to bridge the gap sort of between traditional Buddhist meditation and contemporary psychological treatments. And it was kind of sad that I didn't know this, because I am a psychology student, but I think it developed in 1979, which was longer than I thought, as a group therapy treatment for chronic pain patients. And since that time, it's sort of evolved to treat other disorders, which I'd really like to research more about which ones and in what way it's helped alleviate those possible symptoms. The author mentions that more insight is being given now to how it might help healthy individuals rather than those that might be suffering from something, to help not only manage stress but possibly predict stress. And I know it also mentioned a couple of different techniques, sitting meditation, body scan, something called Hatha Yoga, I remember reading, which I've not done before, but I know it deals with improving your posture and your musculoskeletal system and feeling. But it's really interesting, especially as I want to, hopefully, not God, this is but get into counseling, clinical counseling. So really interesting.
You go back. Let me summarize what she mentioned about. Okay. Can you see?
No.
This small?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you see? Okay, so again, this is been developed by Kabat-Zinn at his college at University of Massachusetts Medical Center. So he designs 8 weeks long. You have, if you want to get this certificate, you need to be trained for 8 weeks long. And I know one person from University of South Indiana. She went there, have the training for 8 weeks. You have to do meditation. things. Yeah. And so basically, they developed this program to use non-goal orientation, no expectation of relief, sense of active engagement in process and responsibility of the outcome, demand characteristics. Use various variation of meditation techniques, body scan, sitting, walking. Use dialectic materials. Take times to do the sitting. So basically, let me finish this one. Here, can you see this instead? Okay, well, so 7. This is the next one, right? Is it the next one? Oh, yeah, the next one is number 2. So, anyway, so this is the description of the mindfulness-based stress reduction. Basically, this involves body scan, sitting, walking, and some kind of yoga, right? And basically, it helps people to deal with stresses. And let us hear from all the people first, and after that, we some more. And number 2, please. Yes, what do you have number 2?
Mine was the difference between stress regulation and stress reaction.
Yeah.
Stress regulation involves formal practices like body scanning, body awareness, yoga, meditation, and informal practices like what we talked about earlier with mindful eating and mindfulness during domestic chores and daily activities. So really it's just learning how to, the key component is to accept and be aware of your stress and why you're stressed out. And by becoming aware of it and understanding where it's coming from, you're able to connect with it, regulate it, and it causes order in your life, and it eases quality of your life. It's been shown in studies with thorough practice of it to reduce anxiety and binge eating tendencies, and reduction in depressive episodes, and improvement in immune profiles of breast and prostate cancer patients. On the other hand, stress reaction is when we are not aware of our stress and when we don't accept it. This causes us to have disconnection, deregulation, disorder, and disease. And the negative reaction to stress, like we know, compromises the immune system, and prolonged and chronic stress can impede our functionality. So really the main points that the thing I read were to be aware and attentive to your stress and why you're stressed out, where it's coming from, and through that you're able to cope with it better instead of pushing it away.
Can you give one example? The difference between stress reduction and stress variation? Give one example.
I guess, like for me, an example in my life would be being aware that I am stressed out because of school and because of I need to be able to prioritize my time and my work. Instead of pushing it away and not understanding why I'm stressed out, then it's just going to carry over to all my life, and then I won't have good proactivity to do what I need to get done and make the changes in my life that I need to.
Okay, so one example of stress reduction.
Stress reaction.
Yes. Let's say you're stressed out because of school work, and what happens when you have stress reduction?
Yeah. Trying to think. I guess the reaction that I usually have would be like, no, it's I've been pretty good about it, I think.
When you stress out too much, normally?
Well, I get headaches.
Yeah.
So,
Headache.
yeah.
You may irritate in anything or anything that people talk to you, right? So that's stress reduction. And stress reduction is meditation. Meditation to calm down that kind of stress. Right. Okay, thank you. After you get the new, I'm going to retreat this. I'm going to retreat. Yeah, please. The tree is 7, right? Yeah, 7. That's your quality of mindfulness stress reduction. Okay, you find out this?
Yeah. They don't really go in any order, but the one that I think would be most important to have first would to be having a beginner's mind, so that you're open to the new teachings and you're not biased based on previous thoughts. Like, for example, if someone already thought meditation didn't work, then if you came into a program already thinking it doesn't work, then it may not work for you because you won't be able to do it right and get your mind in the right place. Next one would be letting go. It's kind of similar to having a beginner's mind. You need to let go of past ideas and past likes and dislikes, which leads to another one, which is non-judgment. You need to not judge things, your thoughts, not judge yourself, not judge the other people maybe in the program. And then acceptance, that's another one. That's very important. You have to accept yourself, accept your thoughts, accept the way you feel, accept your progress, which leads to non-striving. It says it's non-goal oriented, and that might sound bad at first for a program, but I think it's actually a good thing to not set goals, because if you set a goal and you don't meet it, you could be disappointed, you could judge yourself, you might not be able to accept that you didn't reach that goal, or if you do reach the goal, then you could judge that and like it and think that you're done with the program and maybe you will quit. Having patience, that's important because it kind of goes hand in hand with acceptance. You just accept the way that you're going through the program. If you're going fast, if you're going slow, if you're getting good at meditation or not, don't judge it. Just have patience with yourself and know that you will in time get it right. And then trust. You need to trust yourself and probably trust your instructor to teach you the right way, help guide you. Mainly though, I think trust is about trusting yourself that you can do this and you will be able to end suffering. Maybe not all at once, but you'll get it. That's all 7 of them.
Good, thank you. The same thing here too, right? Yeah, this is the 7 types. That is important. So, which one is the hardest one for you to apply? Which one do you think? Which one is the easiest one, and which one is the hardest one for you? Which one is the easy one? Which one is the easy one? The easiest one.
The easiest one? All of them are pretty hard.
Really?
Yeah, they're all hard.
The hardest one. Which one is
The hardest would probably be letting go.
Okay.
I have a problem with letting go of things.
How about you? Which one? The hardest one. If you have the easiest one, you can share.
It would probably be between non-striving and letting go.
Okay. How about you?
Letting go.
Let's go.
Easiest, probably patience. I have a lot of patience.
Good.
But,
The hardest one.
hardest one, probably non-judging. I have really strong feelings towards some things I really like, some I really dislike a lot.
Okay. How about you?
So the easy one was going to be patient, then review about it, and then the hard one's going to let something go.
Your patience would be probably the easiest, and letting go would be the hardest.
my easiest would also be patience, but hardest would be non-judging.
I'm not sure which would be easiest, but trusting in myself is the hardest one.
I think the easiest would be patience, trusting myself, and then the hardest would be non-judging.
Which one?
Which one would be the hardest?
Letting go and not judging.
Non-judging.
Easiest, maybe trusting myself, because I know I can't do anything about my feelings. They are what they are. But hardest, either acceptance or patience. I'm not patient at all.
That's good. That's good. So from time to time, we will talk more about letting go. Right? Letting go hand in hand with acceptance, right? It takes time. It takes time. So it's need to have a time. So, but at least most people have that kind of characteristics already. So sometimes it takes time for us to build up our skill, right, dealing with these problems. Okay, let's move on to the next one, number 4. Is it right? Yeah, number 4.
Oh, I thought we're sorry.
Oh, you have please.
We were continuing.
Okay.
Therapy session.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so I had MBSR in schools, and there was so many files to read, so I only read.
You get
three of them.
try to summarize in your mind.
Yeah. So one of them I read was a research article. It kind of was a review of different studies that have been done in schools, showing that MBSR has worked with teachers and students, and it promotes a sense of well-being, teaching for teachers, teaching self-efficacy, classroom management, behavior, establish and maintain support relationships with students. For students, it helps with memory, attention, academic skills, social skills, emotional regulation, self-esteem, increases in mood, decreases in anxiety, so all those things.
So what do you find? What's right there?
Well, what I found interesting and helpful was an article that a woman wrote who was a teacher, and then she took time off because she was changing professions, and she realized that what she really wanted to do was work with teachers and students in mindfulness. And so she was saying that she went into schools and she would have the students and teachers sit together and explain to them the importance of their mind and being present and teaching them just the basics, and they might not have even known that the thoughts in their brain contribute to stress. So she would explain that to them, and then she would ask them to sit there for 5 minutes and meditate, or just sit there and observe their thoughts without getting too deep into them, just letting them flow and paying attention to them. And she wouldn't really explain what that was, and then after she would ask them, and she also told them to pay attention to things like how you're feeling, how you're thinking, and those kinds of things. And then after she had them stop, and then she would ask certain people, did you notice what kinds of thoughts you were having? Were you feeling anything physically? Did you feel your feet? Did you feel your hands move a lot? And then, just getting them used to doing that and paying attention to that and asking them if they felt anything afterward. There's a lot more.
Thank you. Actually, this question I want to put for you to have preparation for the classes that for the topics that we are going to talk more. So let's say when we come across to the topic how we apply mindfulness in school, at work, and so forth. You need to be in that kind of situation. Let's say in your case, you may consider yourself as a teacher, actual teacher, and how you manage the class. Or even when you work at companies, how you deal with the boss, how you deal with your co-workers, and so forth. You put yourself in that situation so that you can recognize the problems and try the way to de-stress yourself. So this is the preparation. Okay. So the next one, stress at work, number 5, please. Yes.
So the stress at work can come from a lot of different origins, I guess. Working long hours or not having a good work relationship with someone you work next to, tedious tasks for a long amount of time, you can be burnt out. Then the stress will cause high blood pressure, trouble sleeping, restlessness, just things that will take your productivity level down. So then to deal with that, a lot of work, corporations and whatnot, are introducing mindfulness or MBSR. So they will do programs, 6 to 9 week programs. A group will meet once a week, usually around the lunch hour, a time that they don't have to come back to work or stay over. And then they'll just do the basics of mindfulness and work on breathing, accepting stress and just taking time to relax instead of maybe working through the lunch hour and continuing their stress. And they did a study, and there was many reports of decrease in stress by those who participated, and they did that for only 6 weeks, once a week, with some mindfulness practice at home.
Yeah. So today we will work together with the MBSR, and next class will be MBCT, and identify each points for each class. Okay, so thank you. So practically, you working out?
Mm-hmm.
So how you deal with stress at work?
Well, my work is a little unusual because we work on campus with residents, so we live where we work. So I take time to myself to make sure that, I'll answer the door if someone knocks on it, but if I want time to myself, I go to my room and read, do meditation and whatnot. But that's about it.
That's good. That's good. This is not much stress is when you go where you study, right? Mm-hmm. And the next one, number 6, please. What's number 6? Describe how MBSR deal with stress in relationship. Number 6. Oh yeah, please.
Well, stress in a relationship. I looked at the MBSR stuff. There wasn't a whole lot of things out there about specifically with a relationship, but I did find some in one of the articles. And they've done some studies about using MBSR within, say, couples, and it helps couples to be happier because they can leave things from the past in the past and not be fretting about what they're going to do in the future, just focus on how they are right now. And I think that that's important. I've been in a relationship for 22 years, been married 20 of it, and the longer you're in a relationship, the more chance you have to make mistakes, and the more chance you have to do good things. And it's funny that when you're with somebody, you don't tend to focus, when things get stressful, you don't think of, oh, remember how wonderful it was when such and such happened? You instantly go to the thing that, that person did to you, whether it be 15 years ago or 8 years ago or literally 20 years ago. You literally go to that thing and, well, you did blah, blah, blah. It's inevitable. And it's really unhealthy, but it happens. And I think it happens in all relationships. I know it happens in mine. And so for me, I've been thinking about that quite a lot this year, actually, because we've had some huge changes in our life this year. Our kids turned 18. like, whoa, what's going to be on the future? And that's a huge stressor for us because we don't know what's going to change between us because our kids are now adults. We don't technically have to be together now, so that opened your mind up to all sorts of things. And I thought, this is really good for us because if you just think about, well, how is it right this moment? What is today like? Well, today's actually pretty darn good. So why am I stressing about what happened 15 years ago or what might happen in 3 years when what's happening right now is more important? Goodness knows we could find something to fight about if we're going to try. So this is really good to me because I think that people in general are very similar. It's like if you have stress or you have a virus, anybody around you is going to be affected by your virus or your stress. So I think if you can manage your own stress, even if, say, two people in a relationship, say only one of them's interested in counseling or meditation or whatever, still that's half the problem, and that's a lot. So, I mean, if I can learn to be patient, then perhaps that might help, and be in the present, and that could help, at least solve half of it, right?
I'm sure this is a good article. It's talk about mindful loving skill, mindful understanding and validation, mindful meeting of the needs of your husband, your wife, your boyfriend's girlfriends, mindful trust and respect, right?
Which document was this? What's the name of that document?
Yeah, I put online. I put on the file.
Which file?
Mindful loving.
Like, what's the name of that file?
Yeah.
Because I'll
Let me.
read it. I couldn't find that one.
You couldn't find it.
But I was looking in all sorts of places.
Mindful loving.
Do you know which folder it's in?
Yeah, I put on. Let me see.
I mean, I know they're in files, but then you have many folders, right?
Yeah, like I put on the let me see. This wood tree, right? Wood tree, right? Yeah,
So
wood tree.
mindful loving.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, in the relationship you have to have trust and respect. If you don't have trust and respect, there's no way for you to maintain that type of relationship, right? If you have trust, but if you don't have respect, that's not work too. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
If you don't respect your spouse or your friends, they have their own free house. You want to dominate them, you want to control them, so that they might run away from you, right? Even you trust them, right? So anyways, this is a lot to deal. Mindful playfulness and passion, mindful courage and honesty, speak well in all kind of relationship. Mindful alignment, you have to work together, you have to complement each other. And there's some hit there. And when you talk about when your children grown up, when they above 18, they fly away from their nest. What they call is psychology, what they call empty nest. Is that right? Empty nest period. All the parents, when the children fly away from the nest, when they go to college, right? It's empty. That's all. Okay. Let's move on to the next one. Yes. Number 6, please. Let me see. Anyone overlap? Let me see. Number 6. No, sorry, number 7. Yeah, number 7. How you do? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, what do you do?
From what I read, I didn't get a whole lot on like doing how mindfulness deals with pain. Honestly, I think I didn't know those files existed. I was just reading the two that you gave us there. I guess from what I did get, however, I myself suffer from overstressed things, and that does cause physical pain for myself. Like I usually always have a pain in the back, something like that. So I think because I was reading the article about how mindfulness in nursing students and stuff like that, and how they have a lot of stress. So obviously, if you have a lot of stress, it can come up in ways of like physical pain or even maybe fatigue or insomnia. So they don't really have practical application to that as maybe like I lost my train of thought. Yeah. I guess just by the fact of being mindful and trying to practice that and living in the here and now, you can reduce your stress, because I think stress is usually worried about something in the future or worried about something in the past for the most part. So by being able to reduce your stress, you can probably even reduce that pain a little bit, because that is what causes the pain.
Can you give an example? When you stress out much, you have some kind of physical problems?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's also an everyday thing for me. My back, like my lower back will hurt. It's kind of uncomfortable to sit. I mean, right now as I speak, it's kind of hurt just because I'm stressing out about things and constantly just like thinking about what all I have to do and maybe things I've done in the past and stuff like that. So pain's definitely a real thing for me as far as stress goes.
This one is what we call mindfulness-based stress reduction for fair back surgery syndrome, and they done this kind of research. And basically, I think if you have a problem, you can do the body scan. You can lie down and scan the body. You know, right? You scan the body, how they are, and relax yourself. Really helpful. It's sitting up, right?
Yeah.
Probably sitting.
I get back problems too whenever I'm stressed, and I started to go to. Well, I've done like acupuncture. I've seen a chiropractor. I've seen like a physical therapist and everything. And I noticed a while back that I was constantly like this, and I didn't realize it. Like I didn't know that. Like I have to constantly pay attention to my shoulders now, right here, to make sure that I'm not tensing up because I didn't even know I was doing it. That body scan thing.
Or when I was in college, yeah, of course I have stress too, and it affected my stomach. It's almost developed to stomach ulcer, but fortunately because I knew how to do meditation, so I couldn't go inside. So when you stress out too much with your classes, right, with your exam and so forth, it affects your how you consume the food, right? Of course, in turn, affect your stomach or your organs. So that's why it's better to relax yourself. Okay. Anyone does in the 7? No. Anyone overlap? Yeah. Okay. The last one, number 8. Yes.
No, I
So, number 8. Yeah, please.
Yeah. Sure.
Number 8. Yeah. Psychological stress.
The reading I found that said anything about what it does for psychological stress just said it really helps to enhance your overall quality of life, and then said it has positive effects on like chronic pain, fibromyalgia, and stuff like that. But it mostly because it helps with anxiety and depression, especially in those with a chronic illness. And then it's really helpful for students because it helps them deal with all their stressors. Like they have to memorize huge amounts of information. They have less time for social and family activities. They're requiring a large amount of debt usually, and those lead to depression, anxiety, substance abuse, and sometimes suicide. But overall, it helps to reduce mood disturbance in student populations and those with like I don't want to say like desk jobs, but like just high-end business and stuff where they have a lot to do all the time. It just helps relax your mind so you're not stressing.
So before taking the class, so have you had this type of problems or having that kind of second stroke stress?
Yeah. just having a lot to do all the time for school. It's a lot to weighs heavy on your mind.
So at that time, you know how to deal with them, or can enjoy them?
I mean, I didn't really know how to deal with all that last semester, but it's a lot better now.
Like this.
The way I understand it, a lot of psychological stress comes from either worrying about things that have happened in the past or things that are possibly going to happen in the future. And with the MBSR, if you know, part of it's being in the here and now, aware, and the acceptance, if you follow those, it helps reduce it.
So
I have anxiety issues.
Okay.
So, and they stem from things that happened to me as a kid. So when I start getting anxious, I know to ground myself and to find, you know, where I'm not that little kid in the classroom getting picked on anymore. So I'm here now with adults. We're all
feel better.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have all kinds of stresses, like positive stress, negative stress, acute stress, chronic stress, and so forth, all kinds of stress. We miss you, right? No more, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's the other one about?
Oh, they still do the same thing, but actually, like looking for how can the MBSR is like dealing with students in the business school, and especially in accounting and finance. It's a lot of students really stressful, a lot like in grade school and undergraduate, because like we have so many projects have to do. So actually, we don't know how to deal with that stress. So they're talking about like the way you can do like in student life, for example, like in class, like I take like Econ 200. Sometimes I feel stressed on my mind, like take me go to a different direction. I cannot focus on listening what is my professor talking. So they say the best one is whenever you stay in the class, try to focus your mind on really deep listening, because the more you deep listening is going to bring you go to at the present, and that's how you don't lose your present and go back to the past. And also they say like talking about the mindful bearing, I think maybe that's one. Yeah, and talking about like you don't have to actually like have the bearing, you know, to practice. Like for individual student can be at home, try to like take about like 2 or 3 minutes, like do something like on the phone, you count it exactly 3 minutes, try to make it like a sound, and then that's how to make your mind like focus on the 3 minutes. Like at the moment is peaceful and calm. For every single breath you take in, so you say, I'm here, out, I'm at the present, and then when you read it one more time, you say, this moment is peaceful, I know I'm strong, you know, something like that, like you tell yourself about. You are present at the present. Don't go into it. Yeah, I think that's happening.
No.
Like a mantra?
Yeah.
Know that sometimes students stress out too much that they want to finish up their life, right? Last few months, one student from UPenn, University of Pennsylvania, she's so young, 19-year-old freshman lady, jumped down from the high building. So many of them, especially the young one, they cannot handle the stress. So that's why they terminate their life. Is so sad. If they know the tools, right, they can handle it. So we're so fortunate. I know, especially you are in all the forums, if you are in this forum, there's a lot of stresses that the professor want to give you. Homework due, exam, paper, and so forth, right? You have to catch up with this class and that class, so much stresses. But when you sort out your classes, I think we do more better. And especially in my class, my strategy is to let you to enjoy the class. You enjoy, so I don't give you any multiple choice at all. It's stressful when we give you multiple choice, especially it's unfair. But it's alright. You study for whole weeks, and then you still got the wrong answer to them. It's unfair. That's why I like you to do some kind of respond first. Okay, so we had a lot. I had all kind of articles and articles about the stresses, what causes the stress, and how to deal with them, and so forth. Anyway, so let's move on to the next class. What's that? Okay. So next Monday, right? We will deal with MBCT. And we have 7 items. Let us yes. Now MBCT deal mainly with this depression. In one point about life, right? Sometimes we feel depressed. Is that right? Okay, number 1, please. Yes. Your Tina.
Yes.
Right. 2, please. Okay, your Jennifer. 3, please. Okay, Morgan. 4. Jessica. 5. Okay.
1 person.
6. Rebecca. 7. Okay, how about the rest? How about the other? 5. Yes. Here.
I replied to you, so we have
5. Okay. 5. The 3, 5. Can you find another one? Oh, you're going to do 5. Okay, that's fine.
I can do other 4.
Oh, you do 4?
Yeah,
Okay.
do 4.
Yeah.
Could I do 1?
Okay. Good, that's great. So we follow the format and thanks for patient, and you enjoy to be patient and to be psychology. Yeah. Okay, thank you. So see you next Monday. 1:30.
This class that I have research design marketing, and then I have cognitive analysis and online stuff, like short I'm a junior right now, but I'll be
Yeah, and
oh, yeah. So that's you mean
right.
class?
I asked.
No, I came in with
I asked.
I was in the class and got the head, and now I'm back down to the class, and then I don't overwhelm but I mean, they got me pretty ahead, so I'm probably going to graduate next summer. I'll probably have to take this semester, then 4 next semester, and I'm doing full-time credit. In school, in high school, we had some classes where if you got a good enough grade, then you could apply and get college credit for it. And I tested out 4 hours of Spanish, and then I had 2
I don't have students yet, but
6-hour credits.
so hopefully.
It's too much to get that involved like this.
Okay, yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
Thank you.
everybody takes business and then they just can't get out of it because there's so many classes and it's hard. I have my friend. Oh yeah. Well, at least you know you do well in school. So if you have stress at home, then I actually stress less about school. I have more stress at home than I do at school.
Yeah.
Well, like completely,
And
like
then,
here.
and I'm thinking it's Donna because it was 10.
Yeah.
But with the way they have her drawn, it could be.
Wait.
No? Rose, not Rose, River.
So 10 to 1 is kind of the deal.
Like that try to work around.
Yeah. For a second, I was like, wanting the dollars.
I'm not trying to keep track of which containers was it was stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let us start the class. 1 minute, please. So again, rest yourself, relax yourself, physically, mentally. Hit the bell to start for 1 minute. Please the bell to start. To relax everything, put down everything. Keep your mind fresh. Listen out the breath. This time? That's good. So you can straight. So take you up minute by minute at home. Did you do at all? 3 minutes? Okay, so again, does require the practice, otherwise you will not do that. We go back here.
You wrote this email to maybe that's your grandma because it's like all names, but it went all the way to this book because like the original characters, they really brought them into it. Like just practical concepts of this That's awesome. I'm so stoked because I got to like 1980 and it starts at like 1980 and then she travels back to 70. So she's been the mother to her daughter as the mother back to her. But now we're actually at 1730. It's really cool. It's really cool. It's very, Outlander. Yeah, it's a little cave where you can it's like that was really just to see what Love story.
I was not interested.
After this, yeah, over trust games, yeah.
But then there's a comment. So there's five characters.
Like I don't look at hard, but
And then one of them that looks the most like
Well,
David
after that,
Bowie,
starting
is holding up
12:15,
and the case for the phone is Taurus. So that's, it's almost, it was done on purpose.
Right.
But it's like,
It's
it's
so funny how like 10 going through our living
knows.
like
It's like, ask her if she's feeling some,
What is it?
does that mean
Have
I
you
don't want to
uploaded
talk about
any
it
of
or like
the classes,
the
recordings online yet?
Oh,
Yeah, so I have no idea.
I was just looking for it the other night because I was curious and
I will give you the link. I think you may have you may need to log out for yourself.
it's nothing I needed, I was just curious if it was if it was part of the Canvas or if it was somewhere else.
How's it want to log in and see? Want to log in and see?
Sure.
Let me find out the link. I will find out on the announcement.
Okay.
Thank
you.
Well, I only started reading them last week or something.
but I still believe it.
Long enough.
Seven.
There's really not much sure. I did 7
I
weeks,
just
so it's-
reading.
it helps.
Yeah.
It's all the info.
But she
It's like
actually
it helps.
finished up.
The discount. A little bit.
Yeah, I think so, because it was a
One or
lot
two.
higher. I said it was a lot higher than usual, so I feel like either I discounted or it doesn't bother me, but it just.
Then try to bring it back to, you see 2 minutes? Okay? Try to relax yourself 2 minutes.